Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Spotlight on Woolfe, the Red Hood Diaries. This is a game that's currently available on Steam for about $10. This is recently been released from Steam Early Access. It has also been, it was also a successful Kickstarter, which I am one of the backers on. A low-level backer, but I'm a backer nonetheless. So, what is this game? Well, this is a kind of spin on the Little Red Riding Hood tale that seems to be a big thing lately. You know, the fairy tale's gone bad. You know, I shouldn't say lately. In the last 25 years, 30 years, it's been a thing. Anyway, let's quickly take a look at the options. Not a whole lot to speak of here. You know, you've got your resolution, multi-sample, texture detail, shadow quality, shadow resolution, dynamic shadows, and details. Whatever the fuck details is. I have no clue what details is. But it's all in the details. I don't know. Separate audio sliders for everything. Controls rebindable for keyboard, not for controller. And these. that's really all that is. These are pointless. Anyway, let's hop in here and take a look. We're going to start right off at the beginning. I have obviously played through the entire thing. This game does have some issues. So, here's the opening story. It looks beautiful. I've got to give it that. It looks gorgeous. And of course, you've got these clockwork soldiers, which are always nice to see. Nice, sprawling, city.
My name is Red Riding Hood. I have no father, no mother, no fear. An itching urge for vengeance is what brought me here. My father died in a work accident 4 years ago today. Well, I don't believe in accidents. I believe someone should pay. I came back to the city in search of answers, and for the man who ruined my life. Woolfe. So, in case you doubt it, this is no fairy tale, 'cause there is nothing fair about it. I arrived 14 days ago and sought a place to hide. An old woman rented me this dusty attic, and since I must lay low, I left my room only at night.
Alright, so this is a scene where we just search for things.
Since I was about 8 years old. I heard about its downfall from the papers Father brought home and the stories he then told. Though we lived in the forest, Father came to work here every single day and witnessed this once blooming city wilt and fade away.
So, just various articles that we need to
Granny hugged
check.
me goodbye with tears in her eyes. She handed me a basket filled with food. I promised to come back soon with answers and with Woolfe's blood on my hood.
So it's very, very strange, this story.
Today is a big day, for after 2 weeks of exploration, I'm off to break into the city archives and retrieve some information. I'm not after a bloodbath. I want justice. So fingers crossed I get there without getting noticed.
And the door opens. It kind of uses some things that you wouldn't expect from a modern game. There's a lot of cheesy things to it. I don't know if that's by design or if it was just something that they chose to do because they thought it was a great idea. I don't know.
Woolfe's iron fist was like a punch to Ulrica's face. bruising the memory of his late father's reign and the city's glory days.
I would say there are two things in this game that kind of irk me. And we will not see either of them for a little bit. Let's creep under here. And there we go. We managed to do it all without touching the bottom.
The only faces in Ulrika today are the ones on these posters.
Too far down.
Hundreds of girls gone missing. Hundreds of families cut apart.
And...
Aw, come on! That's not very pedestrian-friendly.
It's not. It's not supposed to be. You can skip a lot of these scenes. So that's what happens when you step on one. Or you could just jump over them.
Over time, Tin replaced...
I'm just going to skip a lot of these. It's really just, you know, talky-talky.
All this tree climbing as a kid finally paid off.
Grab that. So, my beef with the game is this. It uses invisible walls excessively. I can understand in places where, you know, I'll jump off and, you know, actually die. But for things like this, I should be able to jump off. And one of the, what, 3 sneaky things?
You guys keep on doing that and pretend I'm not here.
For the most part, this sneak is not used. And if you look at her skirt, you'll notice that there's some issues when you sneak. And it's not always. Like right here. Yeah, it's not happening there. It kind of stretches and tears and just looks kind of weird.
What a ghost town this has become.
But again, they're quite minor. Like there. That would be a good spot to put like a secret or something. But you can't go there. And here we go.
The truth behind my father's death was buried along with his body.
So
lips were sealed and the case
there's
was closed.
quite a few places
for me.
where it's not blatantly
already
obvious
lost a
where you
parent.
need to go.
This
like,
simply
for example,
couldn't be.
this here,
For
like, it
weeks
could
I
be
cried.
forward,
For months I couldn't speak.
or it could have been the boat.
Until
It turned out it was the
I
boat.
was done feeling so broken.
But because
and
the camera perspective,
I asked
it's
Granny
actually
to teach
really
me how
hard
hunt
to
and how
tell
fight. Now,
where
at
you're
last,
landing.
I'm ready to make things right.
This is, I believe, the second to last stealth section. These guys here, though, in case you're wondering, they will one-shot you. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They will one-shot you. Land on there. And...
Well, at least Woolfe was kind enough to install a cable
Ta-da!
ride across the river. Kudos.
Now, in this particular instance, I have not come this way yet. So we'll grab that. You can jump from
My biceps. are
beam
gonna
to
be
beam,
sore
which is
tomorrow.
nice. I like that you can do that. I'm skipping a lot of this stuff because it's just irritating. And makes this go faster so that I can get a bit farther. Come on. There we go. So all in all, the puzzles aren't really all that hard.
Don't mind me, guys.
The platforming is semi-enjoyable. You can really see it there. Like, it's really tearing up a storm right there. So it's just random things like that, really. Yeah, the platforming is mostly enjoyable. There's a level when you get into the forest. And that's where I need to go. There's a level when you get into the forest that is
back in boxes where you belong.
Awkward. Like I should be able to jump over that. Was there something over here? I feel like there was something up here. Yep, there was a wolf up here. Bong. And I've already unlocked it, so there's not a big deal. Alright, and we run through here. So now we're going to get into more of the combat aspect of this.
These piles of paper, covered with dust and lies, might just contain a clue to help me uncover the truth. Suspect in the disappearance of Ulrika's women, and my father's death as well? Who is this creature from hell? An ugly face, hiding ugly secrets. And an even uglier contractor, so it seems. Looks like the sewer is my next stop. Well, I'm ready to crack open this can of worms. Now, how about a tin opener? Even better. Let's go find that filthy rat.
I don't know why you'd have an axe in an archive, but hey, whatever. Alright, so now we have an axe, and we get to see how uber complex this whole combat system is. It consists of beating the shit out of people with absolutely no regard for anything or anyone at any time. Yep. You also have a strong attack, which I'm actually surprised it's doing its thing. Because I've had a lot of problems with this strong attack, where it does not always go. And that's why you don't always use strong attack. It's handy, but don't rely on it.
Tin crumpled so easily.
There is no real, like, dodge mechanic. There's no real combat mechanics. It's just swing the shit out of things and make things hurt. There is a dodge. It's not so much a dodge as a pathetic roll.
Mary sat beside me in third
And we're
grade.
talking about Mary.
Her hair was fair, her skin so bright. Her mind, not so much. She copied my homework. I ate her lunch. One day, Mary's mother sat in the principal's office crying. We instantly knew, yet another girl missing. Yet another mystery in tomorrow's paper. Her seat remained empty, as did mine the following day. For Father and Granny agreed the city was no longer a safe place for me to stay.
Yeah, it's... that.
Well, this is a part of town
That's
I've never
the
been
story
before.
right there.
Wouldn't
It's
recommend it
kind
to
of
visitors, that's for
fractured.
sure. Home to rats and bats, and to that musical piece of kidnapper scum. I can't wait to break his flute and make that bastard forever mute.
Found the story. It seems like they're just trying to push it too far, too fast. Like,
You must be friends
the
with
game
that other
itself
rat.
is only
The one
2
with the
hours
flute,
long.
right?
So they've crammed a lot of story into this tiny little package. And I feel like they could have stretched it out a significant amount. You know, by just adding a few more levels here and there and making it a little bit less compressed, a little bit less awkward. Like, it just seems like things change so quickly.
Believe it or not, normally I love all animals.
And it just becomes really fractured and hard to follow. Like, we went from seeking out Daddy to seeking out the rat guy to we'll then go to, you know, or we saw the girls, but that's not really touched on. It's just she seems to know a lot more than she's letting on. That's probably the best way I could describe it. She knows more than they're telling us, and usually it's the other way around, where they will tell us more than the character actually knows, which I think is a lot better way of doing things. Personally. And I actually made it.
Lovely odor. I wish I'd left my nose at home today.
I have never got that little Woolfe symbol. Not entirely sure actually how I would go about getting it. Oh, actually, I think I know how to get it. Haha! You saw it here first. You get it like that. And now we can shuffle our way over here. We're actually coming up to a mini-boss fight soon. So this here is one of the issues I have. It's really hard to tell where she is exactly on the pipe. It would help a lot if her hands were actually on the pipe and not in the pipe. But it would also help, I think, if the camera had a bit of a different angle. Like here, we can actually see, but now it's harder to see the ledge. Here you can't see anything. So it's just...
Ugh, only creatures from hell could live in this kind of smell.
And there, like, it was really hard to tell whether I was going to fall in.
Come on, you
She almost looked like
Piper.
she stopped.
I'm running out of patience.
And this
Time
is one
to
of those
show your
spots where
face.
they've purposely put in a different color piece so you can see where you jump to get over. And I've got this one, but why not get it anyway? So, at this point, we can go this way, but I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to go this way. Because I have to.
Ow, ow! Ugh, holding my own feet to the fire wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
And there we go. And the grind wheels are down. And huzzah! So, like I said, the platforming is pretty good, aside from really one level. And it is just, like, cheaty death after cheaty death. It utilizes the piss-poor camera angle to great extent. A lot of mid-air angle changes. What else does it use? If you've ever played V or whatever the fuck it is, the game with like 100 fucking Vs, you'll kind of have an understanding for what it's doing.
Ugh. Looks like Ulrica's having a bowel movement.
And beautiful. And no! Crud. I think that's actually the first time I've ever missed that. It's kind of impressive. Ta-da! And I've never actually tried to get it. I've only just succeeded. That's pretty much it.
Someone should really send a plumber down here.
Performance-wise, for the most part, when I'm not recording,
it was love at first sight.
no problem
Marriage
getting
followed
60
with a
frames a
handful of
second
guests and a spin
on the
roasted
settings I'm
wing.
on, which
Their
is
future
shadows low.
looked bright. Until one day, she
Except,
came home.
even though I'm on shadows
The table
low,
was
there
in
should
note.
still be
Picking
some
flowers
shadows.
in the woods.
And that's something the game
Another
misses,
search notice.
is
An
shadows.
insufferable tragedy for
I think a
parents.
lot of the problems with positioning could be fixed by Red actually having a shadow. How about you hit him? Ah, rats are a pain in the ass. Because, like, right here, it's not so much a shadow that she has. Like, if I do that, there's no shadow. But sometimes there is, which is more of like a dust particle effect. It's practically useless. Or, actually, it's not so much that it's practically useless, it is useless. I have actually run this with shadows on high, dynamic shadows, and there's no difference. There really is no difference. No shadows whatsoever.
You! Even uglier in the flesh. What's your plan? Hit me with that dreadful flute? The only thing that hurts is my ears. Was it you who took my mother? And what about my father, Joseph Hood? Speak, or stay forever mute.
I think he might want to stay forever mute. Just gonna throw that out there. So this is the first mini-boss.
Someone's been overfeeding you.
And
Wanna play?
It's telling you how to beat him.
bastard?
And
Woohoo! This axe kicks some major ass. Or is it me?
first thing, come on, rat. There we go. And we run down here because we can't just jump over top of things. There we go. And come on, rats. Oh, did I actually get them all? How convenient. Come on, Rattington.
A musician and a jock. Your mother must be proud. I'll get you. Just
Locks
you
you in
wait.
a really strange spot. So this is the kids' room.
So, this is where he's hiding. Not only his creep self, but those poor girls as
Except the
well.
girls aren't here. So he's
Can
not hiding
smell
them
their
here.
Fear. The bad dreams haunting them at night. Their pillows wet with
What
tears.
pillows?
Mothers unaware of their plight.
Seriously, there's no pillows.
The devil's dormitory spooks the crap out of me.
Then why are you standing in here? So, yeah. This is basically it. Another puzzle. Fills up with water. Sinks. There's a lot of these sweeping pans. Get up there. drain. There. And down. Go quickly. So you only have a limited time. Except it's actually a fairly large amount of time. And up we go, back into the city. And now we go from trying to find the sewer guy back to investigating our father.
The Woolfe Industries headquarters, where the factory staff had their office, where my father used to slave away. It's in this awful building that his lifeless body was found. A bookcase covering his chest. The collected works of Da Vinci accompanied him in eternal rest. Early that Thursday morning, hawkers set up stalls and goods. When word of his death reached the market and a friend of father was summoned to bring the bad news to the woods.
So, this is what I'm talking about with the story being fractured. Like, you just it kind of bounces everywhere with no real cohesiveness. So, yeah. I think I've said what I wanted to say. I think I've shown a fair decent amount. You know, you can kind of see where the issues lie. They're pretty easy to see. They are not detrimental in any way, shape, or form. Well, maybe not. They're not overly detrimental. They're something you can work around. But they can get frustrating at times. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this little look at Woolfe. And we will see you next time. Say goodbye, Red.
Goodbye, Red.